Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
Not too bad. Yeah, I got a message from Alex. He's the one who played last time. Something last minute came up, so he won't be playing today.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything from Tim. He said he was going to play, but I don't see him online, so
Okay.
guess he's not here. I think he might be West Coast. It's probably
Okay.
pretty early.
The other Tim, who was he playing?
He hasn't played yet.
Okay. I was about to say maybe I missed more games than I realized there.
No, they were supposed to both play last time.
Okay.
But he had some stuff come up too. So yeah, I was gonna have Almakov or Alex's character meet you guys in the stairwell, but he's not there today. So I'm guessing his character just probably backed down the stairs and got cold feet. He's just walking around making sure he actually wants to be in this town. So we'll just say that. Do you guys need any refresher as far as last time?
Yes.
Okay. The last we left off, you guys were in the office of the mayor talking about the fruit creatures, and Mallow, the priest, had sprinkled some of his ashes, some of his burnt flesh ashes that he uses for his rituals, and that was one of the only things that seemed to have any effect on the creature, and eventually the creature died and broke apart into like fragments of egg-like shell substance kind of stuff. You guys were talking about what you're going to do maybe with the forest. The mayor hadn't really done anything. He was worried about this fashion show. You guys had gone to the lake, and there was that weird creature that guards the lake, the ducks that were crapping out gems. The guy that you made forget all about... I think Ash made him forget all about the ducks and the gems, so he's not going to come back. There was the scene with the troll and all that stuff that went down. But he's also... that forget's a pretty powerful spell. The troll doesn't remember... I can't think of Rayhan's character anymore, so... but yeah, you might get... you're not really sure what's going to happen with your visions, if you'll still have them or not. Oh, okay. Looks like Tim Rudolph is... So, add him to the call. Add people... There he is.
Hey, Tim's here.
Tim, you there?
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, man?
Yeah, how's it going, bro?
Hey, nice to meet you.
You as well.
So he goes by other Tim on YouTube.
You dropped real low, Tim.
Yeah, you're
Sam. I'll just say Sam for the game. Sam Wise.
Can you guys hear me at all or not?
a little better.
Seemed like once you added Tim, somehow your voice dropped, your volume somehow.
Maybe this call can only handle one Tim at a time.
We're just too demanding. We can only have so much bandwidth between the two of us.
Maybe replug your headphones in again, or maybe something simple. Troubleshoot it.
So you guys can barely hear me now, huh?
Yeah. Sound like you got a big pillow between you and the microphone.
I'm afraid if I yank it out, you guys won't be able to hear me at all. All right, I think adding people...
There you go.
Yeah, it's better now.
Jeez, we always have technical difficulties right at the beginning. I don't know. Probably because I'm adding people and doing all kinds of weird stuff. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. So, Tim, this is the first time you've ever played in the game, so some of the backdrop, I guess, is that you have adventured with these guys that have gone off before you, and you've sort of been drinking and whoring in the town that you guys are at, wasting time. Whatever money you guys had was sort of just dwindling. There was no more jobs to be had, and eventually you probably decided, okay, let's go to this next town where everybody else went, and try to meet up with my old friends that I haven't seen for a couple weeks or maybe even a month. I guess it'd probably be longer than that, probably a couple months. You probably headed out, and what you thought was going to take you maybe a day or two ended up taking a month because you got lost in this labyrinth of roads and hills and it was really strange. The times you thought the sun was in the wrong place. Like, wait a minute, I've been traveling east. Why is it that way? I don't understand. And even if you use the sun to try to coordinate where you were going, or the stars at night, no, nothing. You're just totally lost. It's like this place just the rules of reality just don't exist in this place for whatever reason. And eventually, after a month's time of traveling and maybe even running out of rations and eating, green things on the side of the road, you didn't have anything else to eat. You eventually showed up in this weird little town of Pembrooktonshire, population 3,000. There's a little sign when you get to the outskirts, and that's probably where we'll start, I guess. So, what is your character's name, and why don't you just describe it for the other players, Tim?
Okay, well, my character's name is Sergei Kyakovov. He's a very interesting-looking fellow. He's a very wiry-looking fellow. He stands about 6 feet tall. He has a big blonde bush of hair on his head that stands out like a tumbleweed, and also a big giant blonde beard as well. His eyes are very large. They open very large when he looks at someone. He doesn't blink at all when he talks to people. So he looks right at you with these gigantic eyes. He wears this robe over it, or this cloak over his shoulders with wolf's fur over his shoulders and down the back. It's clasped together at his neck, and he usually has it pulled closely tight over him.
And what might be some things that maybe the other characters know about you? Because, like I said, in game you guys have known each other for years. So.
Oh, okay. So I've known these guys for years.
Yeah. So during the course of the game, feel free to interject weird background things that you just come up with on the spot. Yeah, just feel free to have fun with that.
Okay. Well, he's deathly afraid of wolves. So if he sees wolves, he will probably bolt. He's also he thinks that he's magically inclined. So he thinks that he can perform signs, and he thinks that he can see things in the stars and things, and he'll often perform blood rituals and things such as that, but he doesn't have any talent for it.
That's great. And just for Tim, just for his sake, why don't Zig and Jeremiah go a little bit about what their characters are, or what you think Sergei might know of them. We'll start with Zig.
So my character is named Rehan. He's from the Far East, where he belonged to a cult that worshipped the sun. And when it was his basically coming of age ceremony, he was told to travel the world to find the origin of the sun. So he traveled and eventually got tired of traveling, met up with you guys, and he's been with you ever since. So he's somewhat religious. You would know that he's pretty good with the blade and doing things stealthily, and he can be relied upon.
Okay. How about Jeremiah?
Yeah. Let's see. Ramelzi is a man with a mind that he cannot depend on. Seems to be ran by a lot of other events in his life. He started out being raised in an underground secret wizard's occult, being used as a host of magic. He was magic was channeled through him. He was born into this world through a rape of his mom, knowing that she had that strain of magic energy running through her, so would her children. So he was born for those purposes. He made his escape to once he realized that he could no longer take the horror that he was going through. So the chance of escape was a less danger to his thoughts. So he eventually made his escape to run across a few adventurers here that he has been adventuring with, that he seemed to be very attracted to, showed him different ways of life when all he knew was just very dark and evil thing. He took a lot of blame on himself since those practices were used, those wizards used him, so like the energy ran through him, so he kind of took it as his fault since he felt those direct ceremonies and magical, horrors happen to him. So he went out to a quest to clear his mind, get rid of the guilt, or escape these wizards that would be on his tail, which he finally did. And so I guess I'm making this too long of a story because he eventually lost his memory. He was purified through this. He went through this teleporter and went to this place that's unspeakable. Really, he would just basically all his memory was cut out of him, literally. So he's now scarred up. He looks real rough. He was already kind of rough looking, pale skin, real skinny, and now he has a bunch of scars from this purification process. And he's just now coming back to grips with his memory about his friends here and the past 3 months that he's experienced. So he basically has nothing but a robe. He don't even have his spell book yet. He has a few memories, a few spells left in memory, and that's about it.
Don't forget too, Jeremiah. You have that old man's spell book that you picked up.
Okay.
You do have that.
Lost. Okay. Yeah, I forgot my notes there on that. So thanks for the refresh.
No problem. So Tim, we're gonna start with you since you're brand new. So you come across this town, and in the distance you see this very tall set of mountains and hills leading up to them. The strange thing about it is that the mountains are covered in red vegetation. It almost looks like from a distance that someone just poured blood all over the mountains. It seems like the tree line is just moving down. Almost, there's like a line of it. It almost looks like an encroaching army coming towards the town. The buildings are very old and of varying styles and different types of architecture, but a lot of the streets are narrow and the buildings are sort of pressed up against each other. You see some smoke coming out of some chimneys and so forth. And I think I gave you a link to the forum, but if not, I'll give it to you after. But there's a map of the town. But I'm gonna have you come into the town from a different way than everybody else, because the path through all the labyrinth of roads and hills that you got here, spit you out in a different place. So you come up and you see the sign, Pembroktonshire, population 3,000. And then it says something strange below it. It's like scrawled with a knife. It says, "Go away." So, does Sergey keep walking, or do you do anything with the sign?
Of course. Oh, this is my kind of town.
So the first business you see, sort of clustered together with a bunch of tall buildings with angular roofs, and it looks like it's pretty shoddy. It's been here for a long time. Is canes, crutches, and walking sticks. And outside, it looks like there's just literally just piles of varying sizes of sticks and crutches and canes with like dog heads carved in the top of them, and maybe this old woman's head with like strange hair dangling off the top of it. Why would you want to put your hand on that? But I don't know. You look at all these sticks and just piled up, and there's this old man standing out there scratching his chin and kind of scratching the side of his head, and he's tilted. He has like this dark red set of pants and a dark black cloak that he's wearing. It looks like it was extravagant maybe about 20 years ago. It's sort of threadbare. There's moth holes in it. He has like an old grizzled face with big bushy eyebrows, and his head is bald, and it's burnt from being out in the sun. But that's the first person you see. He's just staring down at his crutches, looking confused.
He's leaning on crutches, or he's just staring at the pile of crutches.
He's not leaning on any, but he's staring down at them, as if he's trying to figure something out.
Okay, I carefully walk up to him and just look at him and say, "Greetings, how are you? My name is Sergey. I'm looking for some people from this that may have stumbled through this region."
What's that, Sonny? Why don't you got a damn stick? You need a stick, boy. You need a stick to walk through this town.
Ah, why is that?
Oh, it's just unnatural to walk on your own two legs like that. Doesn't it pain you something awful?
Not currently. It has in the past, though.
Oh, well. If you were gonna pick a stick, which one would you pick? Would you pick that one with the dog head, or just a normal one, or I got some metal ones over there. I'll give you one. Just tell him old Abraham gave you one. Yeah. What do you say for a stick on the house?
Oh, that would be marvelous. May I choose my own stick?
Oh yeah, but of course, curious to see one so strange as you. Who would you pick? Which one of these? My precious little sticks.
He takes his spear that he's leaning on and he starts moving through all the sticks, moving them aside until he sees one that he likes.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Just throw a suggestion out there.
There was one with a dog head on it?
Yeah, it has a dog head with some sharp teeth and looks like it's snarling.
Oh, he takes that one.
Okay. Fine choice. My brother had that one for a time. It was a good stick till he couldn't walk anymore, but it helped him.
Oh, what happened to your brother?
Oh, he's upstairs.
So he's still alive.
Oh, yeah, I guess. So,
very good.
You talk funny there, Sonny. But you said you're looking for some of your friends, the deputies. I would take it then.
Oh, deputies! I do not know that they have become involved in law enforcement.
Unless you speak of other friends, but going
I
by
have many friends, but these may be those that I am speaking of. Where may I find them at?
Oh, they talk to the mayor a lot, I believe. They may be there, but I don't know. Sometimes they go up to the mountains. Perhaps there.
Very good. Where may I find this mayor at?
Well, if you go to the center of town through there, and he kind of points to these narrow alleyways that shift and move, just between the buildings. Oh, yeah. Up that way. Fine choice.
Would you like me to choose a stick for you?
Oh, actually, that would be marvelous. I can't seem to pick one. They all call my name, but
they call your name.
Their voices sort of drowned out in a chorus of dying screams. Yes, I would have you choose.
Okay, so he just starts rifling through the sticks again, and he chooses one for him.
Okay, what does it look like? Feel free to describe it.
Well, it's burnt. It has a lot of. It was scarred in a fire, and it has at the top. It looks like someone held it for a long time because you can see where it was all worn at the top where the hand was at. Otherwise, it's not very interesting, other than the slight crook at the top of it.
Okay. So you pick that one, and how do you give it to him? Do you point it out? What do you do?
Yeah, I hold it on both of my hands and just present it to him like it's a valued present.
You picked that one. Oh God! Oh God! Flee from my sight! Curse you! And he's crawling in the dirt, and he's pushing little piles of dirt up with his feet to try to make a little dirt wall or something between you and him. He's averting his eyes and crawling away from you.
He just starts laughing. He just looks at him and just starts laughing at him. Is this a game?
Terrible stick. Be gone! Be gone from my sight.
Well, he carefully puts the stick on the top of the pile and just starts walking in the direction that he pointed him.
You see the old man, he's not even paying attention to you. He's sort of glaring at the stick on the top of the pile, like, I don't know, like it's like a dog on top of the food he's about to eat. He's afraid and disgusted, and yeah, that's what he does.
Okay, I just put him out of my mind and walk in the direction that he told me.
Okay, so you're leaving and walking through the town. Some of the other businesses you might see on the sides. Elegant Prose and Poetry, Odd Jobs and More, Up in Smoke. All these places seem like they're pretty shut up, but it's like in the middle of the day, and you'd think they would be open, but they're all closed up and barred. Keep walking a little bit further through these narrow alleyways, and you can't really...
Is there people about?
You don't really see anyone about, actually. The old man was he was out at this time.
Okay.
Until you get to this sort of opening between two buildings. Here. You'll see the eunuch escort service on your left, and the taxidermist. Those are two businesses that are right there. On the edge of this large round or oval opening in the middle of this town, you'll see some large buildings. You'll see a temple off to your left, an inn a little bit closer to the left. And across the way, you see this large, tall structure that looks very imposing, almost like it's looking down its nose on every other building that's around her. But in the opening itself, there's a lot of things to see. You see lots of hoof prints everywhere, like horses had just tore into this place. But there's also this large crack down the entire center of it. It's probably about 3 feet wide. It looks like some, perhaps, earthquake or something has recently come here. There's also some collapsed buildings that are just in these piles of wood. And in the center of this town, I guess, is this large structure made out of tall wooden pines and a platform. And there's bodies tied up to it that are bleeding. They look like they're unconscious. There's a few other people that are moving around. They're also beat up. You'll see piles of nets everywhere, like large fishing nets that you're guessing might have been used to grab them or collect them. But it looks like a very disturbed scene of people just sort of milling about, and they're untying some people that are tied up, and that's what you see.
Do I see anyone that I recognize?
You don't see any of your friends in the midst of this.
So there's a bunch of people. They're tying up people. Or?
Well, I'm sorry. They look like they were tied, and they're now.
Oh, okay.
So there's a few of them that either got loose or something, but they look like they're cleaning up the mess and trying to. It's very chaotic, as if something just happened.
Oh, okay.
So there's people being pulled out of nets, and people reaching their hands down to help them stand up, things like that.
Okay.
In the very large building across the way, you do see someone who looks like he's an official of some sort, but he's not really doing anything to help. He's just standing in the doorway looking out at the scene.
Yeah. He just sort of makes his way over there. Not directly. He just meanders about looking at things, but he's pointing himself in the direction of this official.
Okay, so you're sort of walking through the chaos, basically, or around it.
Yes.
You'll see that people look like they have drag marks on the sides of their bodies, as if they were drugged here. And as you walk, you do see large net drag marks coming from all sort of corners of the town into this area, as if there was almost like a collection of people. You'll see it looks like whips and torture devices set in the ground, sort of discarded by the poles. Okay, we'll break there. So you're walking through that chaos. So you guys, so Rayhan and Ramelzi had just finished up talking with the mayor, but we can continue to talk and say other things.
I think you cut off at the end there.
You still there?
Yep.
Okay. So we're going back to Ramelzi and Rayhan.
Okay.
At the top of hanging out with the mayor, just talking about preachers and what you do. So go.
Rayhan, my friend, I don't see where much use left for us in this town. After this last event, with finding that the demon blood runs within most of the folks here, the cursed blood, I would say, I am lost to how to be of assistance myself.
You do not think that there is any way that we could find a cure for this?
Possibly.
Might there be others in this town that have come from the outside and had not been born here?
Yes, that is true. Maybe some have even made life here, and we have not yet ran into them. It is still difficult for me to talk after my last experience. Yeah. I'm still feeling weak in memory, but perhaps we can seek out some those who still have the light left in them.
There is also the situation with the trees.
Yes. A lot of troubles, I would say. Big ones. Perhaps the mayor will not have much else to say to us. We should seek out some familiar faces, perhaps. Some of those who have not been born in this town, you say?
I'll glance over at the mayor and I'll see if I'll ask him, is there a place that keeps records of people born here or visitors, those that have settled?
Yeah. Well, I think there's probably something like that. There's the town crier, I think, has some books. I think you said that you talked to him before.
Yes, very vaguely I remember.
He's a bit of a nutter, but he does have some old books there.
We'll seek him out.
Probably at this point, you guys hear. I'm having a lot of feedback, actually. Could some of you guys turn your volume down maybe a little bit? Maybe that'll help. Okay, I think that's better. All right, so probably at this point, you hear someone running down the stairs away from you. Sound like there was someone who was on the stairs that you hadn't heard come up, and now they're running down them?
I'll give chase.
Okay. So you open up the door, you look down, and it looks like there's some smeared blood on the wall. Looks like someone was trying to wipe off their hand. And you go running down the stairs. Does Ramelzi follow?
Yeah, I'll follow through.
Okay. So you guys come running down the stairs, and you'll see that the assistant constable is standing in the doorway looking out, but it looks like he was just pushed by someone. He's sort of rubbing his shoulder, and he turns around and looks at you. What is going on out there?
Which way?
Who was that man that just ran past me?
We do not know.
I'll look forward. Can I see that guy?
You don't see anybody running, but you do see the scene that's there with a large crack from the earthquake and the buyer set up and people that look like they were tortured or tied to it, and there's nets everywhere. And lo and behold, you see your old friend Sergei walking boldly across the center of town in your direction.
I'll nudge Ramelzi and I'll point out.
Old friend from our last adventures.
It is so good to see you. I have wandered around in this city. I have seen utter chaos. It is my kind of town.
I hope you can still recognize me, my friend. I have had a lot of changes since we last seen. It is I, Ramelzi. And do not
I
be
can
afraid.
see it in your eyes.
Yes, this town has taken a weight upon my shoulders. So as our friend Rayhan here. But we still seek a resolution. There is a lot to deal with.
Very interesting. What sort of resolution are you looking for? Perhaps I might help.
Rayhan, maybe you would be best to speak upon what our tasks are here, our great tasks of the day.
Well, we have done much good here, though we haven't made much coin. The main trouble that this place faces is out by the tree line. There's an encroachment of these red, demonic trees, guarded by tiny minions, and I'll put both my hands together and extend them out maybe like 10 inches or 12 inches. And then I'll glance out into the street and I'll say, everybody in this place has a hint of demonic blood in them. It goes back many years. Hence the strangeness that we see around us. We had thought of finding a documentation to see who was born here and who might be from outside the town. But only a few moments ago, someone seemed to smear blood upstairs. And I'll point back to the mayor's place. And escaped through this door. You hadn't happened to see anybody running out of this building, have you, Sergei?
I wasn't watching for anything in particular, but this is very disturbing occurrences. I walked through this town and found a very strange individual who was staring at the pile of sticks, and he insisted that I take one, so I am walking on stick now.
Yeah, so there's people milling about. It looks like they've been brutalized and dragged through the town. You can see blood and bits of stone and sand in their skin. They seem like they're sort of lost for direction, and no one's really stepping forward to help them out or anything.
So you say demonic blood? When he says that, his eyes just close to a narrow slit, and he just scowls and starts looking at everyone around.
Yes, it seems like this whole town has been risen upon demonic blood. But Rayhan thinks that there was a beginning to the spread of this cursed blood, and perhaps we could purify this town once again. But everything you see here has something to do with the insanity that this blood causes these people. A lot of unexplained things that if you get too involved in, you might not get very far, because this has been the natural path for these people for so long to be in a state of insanity. From the way I see things, a lot of our attempts to do a good deed has turned sour, but also we have done a lot to relieve some of the problems that some of these people had, but seems to lead to greater problems based around this blood that seems to be animating these people's behaviors and thoughts. A source is still yet unknown. Perhaps it goes far as back as the founder of this strange town.
Ramelsi, while you're talking, you just you feel that presence of the sword, that overwhelming feeling of peace and tranquility, of joy and utmost love, and it's coming from the where the sword is on your person, and it starts to emanate out from you. Rayhan, you also get to feel it, and you remember those scenes with that angelic creature in the field. And for Sergei, this is a very unsettling feeling. The sense of being in oneself, of you being the only thing there feels like there's now other. There's some sort of presence that's amongst you, around you, in you. It feels both at once comforting and like nothing you've ever felt before, but it's also scary because it's so alien to the way you look at the world, maybe, or see. But feel free to interpret that any way you want, but that's what you feel.
Okay.
Yeah, I look at Rayhan first and lock eyes and kind of nod to him. You know what this means, my friend. There's something close. Then I turn, kind of with a shaky voice, trying to balance the emotion from that the blade is given to me. I turn to Sergei and say, "Do not be alarmed. This is an effect, a warning that we have been given because of the blade that is upon me. And there is cursed blood around us, yes, but there is something even more dangerous amongst the crowd here. I believe a demon of sorts. Perhaps he will show himself within seconds, so be ready and try not to let the emotion confuse you, my friend. Just try to find balance." And then I look around me, and I definitely put my hand on the blade within my bag. Like I swing my bag in front of me, put my hand on the hilt, slowly look into the bag to look for that glow, perhaps.
Yeah, so if you draw it out, the light of the blade is there. And for Sergei, it's almost blinding. It's this golden hilt that has this. It literally just looks like a blinding white light for a blade. And he's, Mousy is holding it in his hands.
I look at. Oh, go ahead.
When you pull it out, he just recoils and walks and takes a step back, looking at it very suspiciously.
I do look around to see if I can sense or if the blade has the stronger pull towards any direction, like to try to focus upon what being might be awakening the blade.
Okay, so are you holding it out in front of you and just sort of moving it to the left or to the right, something like that?
Yes, I'm not. I'm probably so, but not in an attacking position. I'm definitely not raising it over my head or anything. I'm probably just keeping it pointed down and kind of just almost like I don't know, like if I was trying to detect something on the ground, but definitely not over people's heads.
Okay, so as you're holding it out with the big building behind you with the jail and everything, and you hold it out, and it seems to have a sort of quivering motion, a shaking, rattling motion to the right, and perhaps Rayhan at this time is. Are you looking around as well?
Yeah, I'm looking around, and my hand is on my blade. I haven't drawn it yet, but I'm being very suspicious of the people. I'm eyeing each of them, trying to get their not trying to get their attention, but trying to meet them in the eyes, just to see if I see a twitch or something.
Okay, everyone that's in the town center looks disheveled and out of place, not really sure what to do. They're sort of milling about. They're getting themselves up. Everyone seems to have gotten out of the nets by this point. They just look confused. So you don't really see any reaction to your glare. But as you are looking around, Rayhan's the first one to see those two farm boys that he'd seen before, and Ramelzi, probably notices them as well, a second after. The blade is pointing in their direction. They're walking boldly towards the center of town, and they have something in their hands. It looks like some sort of dark metallic contraption that they're carrying between them. It looks like a oblong metallic box of some sort, but it has strange angles to it that hurt your mind when you look at it. It's kind of disturbing.
Would it be possible to make a tinkering roll to find out what this good thing could be, or is it beyond me?
Well, just give it a roll. See what you get.
I failed. I got a 5.
Like I said, it's a metallic box, but it doesn't look like anything you've ever seen before.
Okay.
You get probably the feeling that it has some ill intent behind it.
Yeah, you could see a state of while this is going on. You can definitely see a state of confusion in Ramelzi's eyes because there was so much activity going on around him, and he has the sword out. Just so my teammates realize that you can see a sense of insecurity. It's hard for him to distinguish between the children that he's seeing, and the farm boys, and the rest of the people that's doing weird things. So in a sense, he is unsure what to do with the blade. You can see that. he's almost like trembling with his, with the emotions that he's feeling from the blade. He's trembling, and he's really not sure what to do with the blade itself.
Ramelzi, there's probably something else that you picture as you're looking out in that direction. You see what looks like a discarded gypsy toy. It's just this small pony that's garishly painted. It has broken legs that have been wrapped around with cloth, almost as if to reattach them. It looks like a well-loved toy from perhaps a gypsy child. And, since you had rescued them, that might be something that stands out a little bit to you.
Yeah, I'll take note of that. I don't think, in the state of holding the blade, he can't really respond to it.
Yeah, it's just something that you see in addition to everything else.
Yeah. I do definitely take note of it. I feel that sense of emotion of the gypsy. And I'm kind of just like, you can, I am unsure what to do. I look at Rayhan and I put up the blade or take the blade.
I'll reach for the sword and I'll look Rayhan in the eyes and I say, "Get a hold of yourself."
Yeah, as he removes the blade from me, I definitely take a deep breath and step back. It is hard for me to distinguish so much corrupt blood.
Focus on your abilities, and I'll glance over at Sergei, and I'll say, "Your first day in the town, and there's a fight upon us."
I would have it no other way. But these are very disturbing things that you are speaking of. They have very ominous portents. There is much darkness going about, and these are things that I do not care for. We must take care of these things. There is no greater purging or cleansing than fire. Perhaps we just burn the town down?
I'll grin at you. The thought has crossed my mind before.
You all feel this wave of energy that sort of even pushes you back probably a few inches where you're standing. It's almost as if you were hit by like a wave of water as you're standing in the ocean. It sort of overwhelms you, and it feels like it just moves through you. Like it has sort of an oily. That's not even the right word. There's no real word to describe it. That's the closest thing you think you can think of for the way it feels when it hits you and passes through you.
The farm boys. It's the farm boys. They are not what they appear. Demon children. We must get rid of them.
Sergei immediately reaches into his cloak and pulls out a sword. Is it demon children?
Yes. It is them that caused the blade to awaken. It is them causing this wave of emotion that I am feeling as well. This confusion. It's those boxes they hold, perhaps.
I'll take a few steps to the right just to keep us not all clustered together. How far away are they from us, though?
They are on the opposite side of the town center, so you guys are... they are coming from the right. Like there's a main thoroughfare that comes into the town center there, and that's where they're coming from. So 1, 2, 3, 4... Probably about 6 buildings away from you if you go around.
And they're just moving at walking speed?
Yeah, they're walking and they're carrying this strange angular box. It's just like dark in color. But yeah, they're like striding forward into the town center. And as people start to notice them, you'll see them flee in the opposite direction. It seems like they perhaps have felt that strange thing too.
So seeing the buildings and kind of having like a good understanding of the layout of this town, would it be possible to get around them, basically flee like the rest of these people, but instead of running away, get behind the houses and make my way so that I'm at their back?
Yeah, you think you could do that, and you would just probably duck down the alleyways either to the right of the jail or to the left of the jail, and you could circle around them, because the buildings are sort of smashed all together, but there are little thoroughfares and alleyways between them.
So I'll look at Ramelzi and I'll look at Sergei, giving them that like knowing look. I've probably done this before in the past. Kind of left the party only to come behind the enemy. So I will run off, basically scattering with the rest of these people, and getting behind one of these houses and trying to sneak around so that I'm at their back. I don't want to get like directly on their back and hit them from a distance. I just want to kind of track them and kind of getting closer and closer so that if they are within my combat range, I can get in there.
Okay. Another thing you'll notice as you duck around, I'm guessing you'll probably go to the right. It's probably closer. You'll see another smeared handprint along the wall. Seems like it's the same height as that one that was in the stairs. That seems like the person that was on the stairs that fled went this way as well. It seemed like they also travel the back streets and don't tend to go through the main thoroughfares. But that's a little concern as you're trying to... Are you running? Are you walking? How are you doing this?
I was running at first just to get behind the building, but now I'm going to kind of like hunch down and kind of like fast walk and kind of slink between the buildings, trying to be stealthy. So. Okay,
so you're moving around. So Sergei and Ramelzi are left with these two large, strapping men. That Sergei might even be a little confused. Like, why are they calling them farm boys? They look like, very large, tough of men. But they seem to be very, very sure of themselves, and they look like they know where they're going with it. It kind of looks like they're walking towards that crack that's in the center of town, but it's hard to tell. They're just walking.
Yeah, Ramelzi, he puts up his cloak over his head and he just steps back. I say to Sergei, perhaps we should take position and ready ourselves. Rehan, I'm sure, is preparing for attack. And as I say that, I step like about four steps back, right on the edge of a building that we were in front of. Not really hiding, but using it as like 50% cover.
Okay, like trying to. Well, let me think here. There's the doorway there. You could duck in,
okay. Or
you could go around the edge of the building and get some sort of cover there. If that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, well, if the doorway was right behind me, that's a good spot. Definitely the door stays open, though. I just kind of step into the shadow of the door so I could still see the whole town center.
Probably when you do that, Mallow the cleric will come down the stairs. I guess he was probably still talking to the mayor. He's right behind you.
Mallow,
what's going on?
Mallow, stay in your position. This is a situation we have out here that's seems to be of dark nature. Take your eye upon those two men holding this strange box, heading for the crack. In the middle here, Rehan has positioned himself to do his dance. I say let's be patient and watch what happens. Prepare yourself.
The gods of torment will be with me.
Your gods will be needed.
All right, so what does Sergei do?
Well, once he hears the cleric say gods of torment, he just looks at him very startled, and his eyes just open as wide as they possibly can, and just keeps looking back and forth between the cleric and Rehan.
Probably to help you out a little bit. This is also one of the people that you've done some stuff with, but
okay.
Sorry. Keith is the player. He's not here right now, but
okay. He still reacts that way.
He's always kind of a creepy dude. I mean, he carries this pouch of his own burnt human ashes around his neck, and you'll see him. You have seen him in the past, flaying bits of his arms and legs off and burning them in a fire. So, however you want to take this guy, that's what he does from time to time. So.
Okay. Well, I put the stick on the ground that I was carrying, and I pull my shield off from over my back, and I just stand there ready.
Okay.
I do not know what these things mean. They're portents of some sort of evil nature. The fact that I meet you all in this town does not make things better. We must burn this place down.
Yes, this has crossed all our minds once or twice. It is it is one of my best ideas I have come up so far, since I do not really know how to purify the nature of this town. It just seems to be nature in itself to be this way. But our friend Rehan here has belief in the light. He sees perhaps another choice, another way to free these people. Maybe he is right.
I believe in light. I believe in light of fire.
Purging with the flame.
Nothing purges better than the flame.
So as Rayhan's making his way around, you're going to see, down the alleyways between some of these buildings, and you're walking at a quick pace, looking probably left, and you'll see the men making their way towards the town center. They're probably about a quarter of the way there. So they're not walking quickly. So if you think it with your pace, you'll definitely be able to get behind them. They'll be closer to the town center by that point, though. So you almost get glimpses of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do I see that they're turning around and having a good look at the place, or are their eyes fixated on their destination?
They seem like they're having tunnel vision. They're looking at their destination. They're sure of themselves. They don't seem scared or afraid at all.
And that tunnel vision's going straight towards the crack of the earthquake opening.
Yeah, right in the very center of the town square where the byre is, where the bodies were laid on top of. Right now, it's completely empty. All the townsfolk have now fled. There's just a scene of disarray of nets and all these horse hooves and drag marks all over the place. And yeah, the men are heading in that direction.
Okay. Again, my goal is just to get behind them, and since I see that they have tunnel vision, I'm not going to use cover. I'm just going to quietly sneak up behind them.
Okay. All right.
But keep a distance so that I don't want to stab them, and the rest of the group being at too far of a distance for it to matter.
Okay. At this point, so Sergei and Ramelzi are talking, and Ramelzi's starting to make his way out behind them in the town center area. You feel another pulse, the wave of this oily, almost vile energy that just hits into you. This time it has a little edge of tiredness to it. It's almost like as soon as it hits you, you kind of close your eyes, maybe maybe even hold your head up to your head. A feeling of dizziness, maybe even. It seems like it's stronger than it once was.
And all of us are affected by this?
Yes, it seems like it's emanating from them or the blocks. Yeah, just spreading outwards.
I do not like this. Let's kill these farm boys.
You'll see Mallow start to pull out his ashes, and he's drawing things on his hands, open hands with his finger. He's dabbing his fingertip into it and drawing symbols.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Now I am going to wait until I see the first attack. If Rehan attacks, I will attempt to ready myself. As of right now, I'm just dealing with that emotion, that feeling from those boxes, and you see a puzzled look on my face about what the possibilities that there are even these whatever kind of farm men or whatever are doing, and their purpose is what's got my attention. Feeling hesitant to make an attack.
The closer they get, the brighter the light of the blade.
I look at Rehan. How many feet away am I from? Since you said I left the front of the
okay,
doorway.
You're standing in the doorway. Let me guess here. They're probably about 50 feet away, and Rehan is probably about 20 feet behind them. Something like that.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna hold myself in the doorway, and I'm just watching Rehan sneak.
Yeah, he's sort of I'm guessing you're sort of like hunched, but you're not crawling on the ground or anything, Rayhan, but you're sort of like, you're right behind them, so unless they turn their head, you don't think they're going to see you.
Perfect. So, I'm gonna, if they're about 20 feet from me, I'll narrow the distance a little bit, and I'll judge. I wanna hit them the moment that they're within, like, let's say 20 feet from the team.
Okay.
From the group.
So you're definitely making headway on them. Like I said, they're just moving at a slow, like, comfortable walk. Like if they own the place, sort of. So if you're like, just, you probably even hear the sound of your own feet. Maybe, it's there, but they don't seem to be turning around. They don't seem to even notice. So you move quickly. So Rayhan is moving up. Ramalzi sees him closing the distance. Sergey, are you still standing there? Are you doing anything?
I'm just waiting for the others. I don't want to spoil his trap if he's trying to spring on them.
Yeah.
Okay. This is when you'll see the box start to fall apart. Angular pieces of metal start to clank and clatter from the sides of it.
I will stab at this point.
Okay.
I think it's stabbing time.
Okay. Make me an attack.
Okay, I rolled a 17 plus 3 of stealth, so 20.
Okay, so there's two farm boys in front of you. There's one on the left, there's one on the right. They're roughly the same size. They probably seem like they're probably about, I don't know, like 5'11", maybe even 6 foot tall.
I will hit the one on the right.
Okay.
Is this considered a sneak attack? Should I roll?
Let me see if he heard you, because you're closing the distance quickly, so you're going to make more noise probably. Why don't you roll a stealth? Actually, that's good. Good call.
Okay, stealth.
See how quietly you can move quickly.
I rolled a 2 on stealth, and my stealth is 4. So.
All right. Yeah, he does not notice. All right, so Rayhan moves forward, and your damage multiplier is what, 6, I believe, for sneak attack?
I got sneak attack. All the pips of the die are filled in.
Okay, nice. All right, so go ahead and roll your normal damage, and then I think we multiply it by 6.
I rolled a 5.
Okay. All right. You're stabbing with what again? The
rapier.
Okay, the rapier. Okay.
The glowing blade that I passed.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The glowing blade. What's the die roll on the glowing blade? Is it an 8?
I believe we said an 8.
Okay, that's the same die then.
Okay. All right. So.
Sorry.
It's okay. So you see the light of the blade dims for a moment, especially when it erupts out of the chest of the person that you stabbed into, the one on the right. The blade sort of shakes and sort of quivers violently in your hands, Rayhan. And you've done this before. You've killed one of these things before, but this time it doesn't vanish automatically. Like last time, as soon as you stuck that thing in there, it was pretty much toast. This time you almost feel like there's a sort of resistance, like there's some sort of spiritual warfare going on right in front of you, in the body of this person that you just stabbed. The head spins around and you hear the kind of noise as bones are snapping and skin is tearing, and now the person is looking right at you. The eyes are sort of they look like they were there, and now they're sort of dissolving, melting away as if like a candle was being heated on a fire. So that's going on right now. In that instance, what does Ramalzi and Sergey do? They're probably about 30 feet away from you at this point.
All right, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm inside the doorway, so who's inside with me? Like, could anybody see me cast magic besides Malo and perhaps the constable? I think is in there.
Yeah, the assistant constable is sort of there, but he's now back since Malo came up. But it was just the constable, Malo, and all the townsfolk are now fled. So
yeah, I'm definitely not worried about the constable since he's easy to manipulate and to keep in the seat pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cast Hold Person, even though magic user level 3, even though it's this is the first time I cast this, so I figured I'd say, even though it says Hold Person, it says a 1d3 plus 1 targets may be affected, but they have to be, I guess, they have to be, I guess, equal to my magic, my level, which is 6 or under, for it to be affected.
Okay. It will be effective then.
Okay, so it's a one. I'm gonna go ahead and you see me look around. I take off my cloak to get the energies flowing well, and you see my hands form a geometrical pattern, and you can see almost like trail of lights create that geometrical form. And then when I turn my hands openly in front of me, you see these worms, spectral worms, like just thousands of them, cut through the air and enter every hole of these beings that we're attacking here, and they just enter them like just without any effect. The being don't even recognize it. Just like it goes into every hole and goes straight into the brain and creates. Let's see how many here. Only one actually. One of them seems to go under the effect of Hold Person, which makes them just freeze in its last position.
All right, once you roll me like a d6, and I'll just figure out which one is affected.
Okay.
And I'll have to roll.
I rolled a 1 on a 1d3 plus 1. Okay, I guess that would be 2 since it gave me a plus 1. Well, that'd still be just 1, so that's also another 1.
Okay, so I'm going to say it affected, or is possibly going to affect the left one. I'm guessing there is a spell save for that?
Yeah, there's a save. Let's see. Successful save versus paralysis will negate.
Okay. I rolled a 5, so
okay.
Not so much. So these spectral worms you'll see crawling into the eyes and the nose and the mouth and the ears and sinking into the flesh of this person. You'll see his mouth open like he's going to scream, but nothing comes out, and he's just sort of paralyzed there. And the box falls out of his hands and clatters to the ground. Fragments are thrown up into the air, little triangles and oblong trapezoids and all kinds of strange metallic shapes clatter and fall to the ground. The one that Rayhan stabbed into is still holding his end of the box. And like I said, his head is twisted around and is looking square in Rayhan's eyes at this point. This is what I'm going to have you guys... oh, that's right. Sergei's got to do something.
Yeah, I was going to yell at Sergei right at that moment and say, perhaps remove the box from the hand. That would stop the power that they yield today. And do you want me to roll a d20 for that spell that I cast?
Oh, yeah, please do.
A 7.
Okay, you're fine. That's the wild magic table for Tim. In case you want. Weird shit happens sometimes. All right, so Sergei is there. He sees all this going on. What does Sergei do?
So that he drops the box?
Yes, the one that Ramalzi just cast the spell on dropped his side of the box, and it shattered and fragmented.
Okay. I have my sword, I wave it over my head, and I just start screaming at them and charging straight at him. The one that he just cast a spell on, I'm going to slash at him.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and take a run up there. It's close enough. Just make me an attack roll. It's D20 plus your strength bonus if you have it, and base attack bonus.
So I rolled a 16.
Nice.
And my attack bonus plus my strength is plus 6.
Wow, okay. So yes, you definitely sink your sword into him, so go ahead and roll me some damage, please.
Let's see. I didn't write down the damage.
If it's
it's a D6.
Yeah, it's probably D6 or D8.
I rolled a 2, so that's 3.
Okay. So your sword sinks in, and it's almost like cutting into a wet piece of wood. It felt really tough on the outside, but inside it's full of like liquid, and you'll start to see black ichor running out of the wound and staining the top of the sword that you stabbed into the thing. It doesn't react at all. Like there's no jump or movement because you see that it's almost frozen in place where it's at. But you see those spectral worms crawling in and out of its flesh, coming out of its eyes and going up its nostril, just sort of writhing and moving all over his skin.
Right? As he slashes at him, he's just laughing crazily. He just slashes, just as he sinks his sword into him.
Nice. Okay, so who feels like rolling a d6 for initiative for their side of the combat?
I'll roll it.
Okay.
Ooh, that's not good. I rolled a 2.
Actually, that's the same thing I rolled. So it's simultaneous initiative. So we'll just start. We'll just start with Rayhan. And
Okay.
what do you want to do this turn?
Is the sword still inside this guy's gut, or is it?
Yeah, it's through his back, out his chest, and the head is spun around and is staring at you. But you notice that the sword's light is is dimmer than you expected it to be. Like I said, there's some sort of thing going on there that you can't see.
Okay. I'll try to pull the sword. Actually, yeah, I'll pull the sword out.
Okay.
I'll take a few steps back, kind of like wide-eyed that this guy's not dead yet.
So as you pull it out, you hear like a like scraping and sort of sizzling sound at the same time. The hole that you stabbed through is still there, and it does look like it's still. It looks like it's continually hurting him. Like the hole is slowly expanding. But yeah, the reaction is different than the last time that you used it.
Okay. I'll kind of defensively say, stay back, and I'll stab at him.
Okay.
A second time. This time no longer sneak attacking. I rolled a 15 plus 1.
Ooh, okay, that time is actually going to miss.
Okay.
So you swing the sword. I don't know. It steps back or leans over towards the box, and it just kind of narrowly misses the side of his face.
Okay.
All right. So, Sergey, why don't you go ahead and give me another attack, or if you do something else? Is there anything else you want to do?
No, he just pulls the blade back, and he comes into a crouch, and he just lunges straight at the one that's still frozen.
Attacking or like trying to grapple
attacking.
them? Okay.
Attacking with his sword, just lunging straight at him with his
Sure.
sword. Okay, I rolled a 12 plus 6, so that's 18.
Okay, that's good.
And 1d6. I rolled a 1 plus 2.
Okay. All right.
He's not having very good success against something is completely frozen.
Death of 1,000 cuts. So yeah, this thing is that's true. But you cut into it again, and same thing. There's more ichor is leaking out through the skin, and the worm seems to start crawling into those holes as soon as you create them with the wounds. Ramelzi, you see that your friends are locked in combat with these things. What do you do?
Yeah, Ramelzi looks down at his hands and then and wonders what he could possibly do to help his friends here. And the rage, this whole town is getting to him to the point where it's like enough is enough. And he grabs his staff and he runs into melee combat in a chaotic expression. He's definitely getting tired of this circle, the loopiness of this town. So he's going to attack the one that he cast hold on with his staff. So with a rage and a chaotic, a little sweat drips off his brow as he raises his staff and he swings down and he gives this, tired of this. And that's not going to do it. So he missed in the blind rage and the chaotic attack. He overswings and perhaps he just hits the ground and still feels like he did something. He released his energy. Yes, not realizing he had missed.
Okay. From behind you in the open doorway, it seems that whatever Mallow was doing has finalized. You'll see that his cat of nine tails is now glowing with this ambient white and green light. He picks it up and he charges into the fray. Let's see here. Oh wow. Okay, nice. I rolled a 20. Let's see what happens there. So you'll see the chunks of bone and glass and nails and sharp wood slash into the flesh of these things, and he rakes across their chest. And let's roll d30. All right. Okay, so wow, he's going to rip one of the arms off of one of these guys with his holy weapon. You'll see the chunks of these bits of metal and stuff lash into the skin and the bone, and he hurls backwards, and just gaping wound is there, with ichor splattering all over Sergei and all over Ramalzi and Mallow as he's doing it, and the arm sort of flops and flails to the ground, and you'll still see those those little spectral worms moving through it, almost if they're like maggots crawling on a fresh kill. So yeah, that's what he did. All right, and so you guys all went, I think. All right, so this has happened simultaneous. So the one that's moving can't do anything, but the one with the head that's now reversed and looking at Ramalzi doesn't even pay attention.
Rayhan.
Rayhan, yeah, I'm getting the R's confused. But he looks down at the head twist, and it looks down at the box, and he lifts both of his hands up and just brings them down with just a big, strong, you can tell this body has done a lot of work, and he just smashes into the box, and fragments of it just scatter all over across your feet, between your legs, and start rolling and tumbling into the dust until they finally settle. Some of them are spinning for a strange amount of time, especially since it's dust and dirt that is on the ground here. There's something going on. You're not really sure what, but you feel this pulse of more of that evil, chaotic, vile energy that just pulses out into you. At this point, I think you guys should make a save versus spell.
Okay.
And that's a d20 roll. You want to roll that number or above.
Spell like...
Oh, you know what? And you have the angel sword out. I'm going to give you guys a bonus of 4 to the roll.
So I want to roll above what it says on my magic defense.
Yeah, you're going to roll a d20,
minus
add 4 to it, and roll above that.
All right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you feel the light of the sword sort of helping you out in this case.
Okay, I succeeded.
Okay.
I naturally rolled above it anyway. I rolled a 15.
How about everybody else? Why don't you guys give me a roll too?
I rolled a 9, and plus 4 is 13. That's below my magic.
Sergei will crumple to the ground. He seems like he's been knocked unconscious.
Oh no. I'll yell out, Sergei!
How about Ramalzi?
Success.
Okay. You guys feel this wave of tiredness and just like you almost were going to pass out, but I don't know. There's almost like a little shining. The shining light of the sword just brings you back into being, brings you back to who you were. But a thing you guys notice is that almost everyone that was around, like there's people that had fled, they were sort of turning around and looking. They have now fallen over. The constable that was in the doorway has fallen over. Let's see what Mallow does here.
Destroy the box.
Mallow falls over as well. He crumples down into the doorway. His flail is still. Oh, he's on the doorway. He's right beside you guys. He falls down into the ichor from the arm splattered, but his flail of his cat of 9 tails is still glowing on the ground. All right, so when we roll initiative again.
Someone else roll. I rolled badly last time.
I'll go ahead and do that. Let's see, that's a 3.
Okay, actually got a 4 this time, so I'll get to go first. One of the farm boys, after smashing the pieces, he reaches down, scoops as much as he can up into his arms, and then runs at full tilt right towards the center. I'll let let's see who's left. Rayhan and Ramalzi. I'll let you guys do something if you can roll under dexterity with a d20.
That's easy.
Like a reflexive sort of thing.
I might be able to do that as well. Let's see, where am I at? Okay.
Oh, are you kidding me? I failed it.
8 under 13.
Okay. So you see Ramalzi sort of look like he stutter steps or something. He tries to do it and he just doesn't get there. What does Ramalzi do? Is you see this, like, just arms of fragmented black shards of, it looks like they're stabbing into this man's arms as he's trying to almost gather them up. Just imagine trying to pick up 1,000 puzzle pieces.
So this is one of those farm boy kind of beings or whatever.
Yeah,
that's grabbing all the fragmented
Yeah, this
pieces.
is the one that just smashed down with both hands into it and shattered it into 1,000 pieces.
So both boxes are broken now.
Oh, it was one box that they were both holding together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just within a rage. I'm gonna try to come down on his hands with my staff.
Okay.
As hard as I can to prevent him from putting his box back together, thinking perhaps the powers that's emanating are coming from these boxes. So
you definitely get the feeling that this is important.
That's a 17 plus 3, but minus 1 strength.
Okay.
Yeah, 16.
That's plenty good. You don't really need to roll damage. Really, you're trying to aim for his hands. So as you smash down into them, you see the eyes look down, and they fall all over the place, and his eyes look towards the crack. Like that was his goal for them. Okay, so that was his action. Now it's everyone's turn. Like that was sort of like an extra freebie I gave you guys. So Sergey though, Sergey, you're it all faded to black.
Okay.
And then you started to see visions of shadows. Like, is this the darkness around you started to get gray, and then in contrast to that, there are these things that are moving in front of that background. They are swirling and moving around you. The shadows start to take angular forms. They feel like they are moving past you now and cutting into you. They are digging into your skin. You feel some moving underneath you, underneath in your skin, moving through you. It's very unpleasant. Is there anything that you yell or say in this strange dream, or you're not really sure what it is at this point? You scream out? Do you say anything? You try to do anything? Oop, Tim, are you still there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had my headphone muted.
Oh, yeah, I did that too.
so he just lets out a blood-curdling scream, and he starts swatting at wherever he feels things crawling, and he's just in a maddened state.
Okay. Wherever your arms move, it's almost like the darkness of the area becomes lighter, as if the motions of your arms are removing darkness.
When he sees that, he just starts flailing his arms and legs around wildly.
Okay. You'll see Sergey's body on the ground, looking like it's going into convulsions. His legs are moving, his arms are flailing around. Okay, so that's what's going on there. So what does Rayhan and Ramelzi do?
What's the distance between me and the closest one?
There's the one that is frozen in time, held in place. The other one was going to run, but he didn't get that far. When Ramelzi knocked the stuff out of his hands, he stopped moving.
Okay, I lunge on that one.
Okay. And like I said, that hole that you had done is probably twice as large now. It looks like it's slowly eating away at him.
Perfect. I will see if I can hit. Oh, I will miss for sure on that one. 9. Yeah, I miss.
Okay.
Damn it. So I jump and I try to do a jump swing, lunge in his direction. But I'll probably end up right at his side.
Okay, maybe one of Sergey's flailing arms knocks into you and knocks you off balance.
There we go. Ah.
All right, Ramelzi, what is your reaction to it?
Or just the sight of him flailing around.
Okay,
it's a distraction.
I'm seeing both Sergey and the farm boys here, and I guess I'm trying to sum up whether the farm boys are trying to attack. Are they in a defensive, or is the one that was trying to run, is he what is his position? Is he ready to attack, or is he looking like he's still trying to gather himself to get out of here? Or
his intention looks to be on the shards and the crack in the center of town.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, with the little bit of supplies that I re-upped after losing everything, which would be a wineskin, I'm going to go ahead and pull my wineskin out and splash some water over Sergey's face and say, "Come on, man, Wake. Now is not the time to sleep. Wake.
Why don't you just roll a random d20,
right.
Jeremiah?
That's a 16.
Okay. All right. So, Sergey, you are flailing in your dream, and you feel like there's this one spot it's brighter. It seems like the darkness. You've swatted at it with your hands and your legs, and you're probably even biting at it, just freaking out. And you feel this cold, just jolt in your face, and you probably close your eyes in response. And as you open them, your eyes of your body open. But there's really strange other feeling you have. You think there's something in your stomach. And it's sharp and painful.
I just start clutching at my stomach. Just like I'm digging at my stomach.
Okay. As you look down and you're moving around, you're going to see a bloody slit about 2 inches long that looks like whatever is inside of you went in there.
Uh-oh. I start screaming at it and just in a frantic frenzy looking at it, just screaming.
Okay. All right. I think I got lost there. Okay. All right. So you splashed him. Okay. What does Rayhan do?
So it's.
Oh, I'm sorry. You just missed, right? Okay, that's right.
Missed.
I think it's back to the farm.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Let's see here. You just tried to grab stuff up. Didn't work. All right. He is going to try to grab up more of the stuff, and he's going to hurl these shards at both Rayhan and... let me pick one. Let's do that. Okay, he's going to hurl them at Rumalzi's face. So let's see what he gets. Ooh, what the...
Like I need some more scars.
Okay, I rolled really high. All right, so into Rumalzi's face and chest, this fistful of shards and broken angular pieces of black metal come flying at you. They dig into you. I'm gonna say, let's roll that. You're gonna take 9 points of damage as these sharp blades sort of stick into your flesh. And Rayhan and Sergey, even though Sergey's freaking out, notice that the blades are sinking into him. They look like they're trying to get inside.
I grab my face. As soon as they land on my face, my hands go on top, not realizing that I probably am pushing them in. But just the sheer reaction, the sheer reaction of the pain, the instinct made my hands block. But obviously it was too late. And I'm just yelling in just horrid pain.
Okay. Who feels like rolling initiative this time?
I fall probably to my knees.
I rolled a 5.
Okay, you're actually faster than me. I rolled a 1 that time. All right, so Rumalzi has shards of black metal stuck in his face. Sergey has something inside of his stomach that you're guessing it might be one of these shards. You're not sure. And that's what's going on. So, what do you guys do?
I will stab.
Okay.
All right, let's roll good this time. Let's roll good. Okay, that's better. I got an 18.
Oh, that's plenty good. Okay.
And damage is 4 damage.
4? Okay. Well, there's extra effects I didn't tell you guys about, but the sword goes sticking into the chest of the man again. Well, I guess it's probably the back at this point, maybe his side. We'll say his side. Sticks in through the ribs, and you pierce through the other side, and this time it seems like it has greater effect. The man's body starts to sort of slump and slouch, and then he falls over face first into the pile of shards of metal on the ground. They sort of sprinkle out and roll a few feet and then stop. And then there's also the one that's held in place with the spectral worms crawling in and out of them.
So he's just laying kind of like prone and his limbs aren't moving or anything?
No, it seems like whatever you've done has been effective. You remember the last time that you stabbed one of these things, it exploded into these black tentacle beast things. Not this time though. It's just it seems like it's actually shrinking. Like whatever is inside is becoming less and less volume. There's less volume in there. It's just he's sort of shriveling up.
Okay.
At this point, we're pretty much out of combat, so feel free to just talk and do whatever.
Okay. Okay, well, is Rayhan over me? Right near me when he splashed water on me?
Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, you're all pretty close to each other.
Okay, so I see those shards in his face, and I start grabbing at them.
Okay.
Yeah. You hear me definitely yell in pain and opening my eyes and seeing Sergei come at me, and I eventually understand what he's trying to do. So I don't know if he's able to do that or if remove them or.
Okay, I'm gonna have everybody roll another save versus spell. This time again with the +4 from the light of the blade.
8 succeeded
14,
again.
15, 16, 17.
I might have.
Over.
Okay, same thing. You just felt this wave of vile tiredness that just washes. It seems like it's coming from the shards that are close to you. You're picking. So Sergei's picking these pieces out of your face. It seems like you probably got all of them, maybe, but it's hard to tell.
Okay. Well, after that happens, I just look at the scar on my stomach and I try to reach in there, see if I can feel one of those shards in there.
You will put your finger in up to the knuckle, and you don't feel any metal.
Okay.
It's a pretty strange feeling to be doing that to yourself.
Yeah.
Painful as well.
He screams again.
I look at Rayhan and I say, perhaps we have overstepped our bounds once again. These demons seem to was trying to put these boxes or shards perhaps in the crevice, the opening to the underground passageways. Perhaps they were up to some good, and we have disturbed it yet once again. Maybe they were trying to close the fissure or this opening that we have created with our actions of the past underground.
You'll see the eyes of the last farm boy sort of looking down at the shards.
I'll walk in front of him and I'll say, "What are these?"
Feels like my kind of guy.
I didn't cast hideous laughter.
He's just staring down at the shards, and he looks in Ramelzi's eyes, and then he moves over to Sergei, and he looks down at your stomach, and
I'll take the sword and I'll put it to his stomach and I'll press it, just a bit to give him pain.
Keep it away.
What is this? What are those?
Finishing what we started.
I'll press it in deeper. I will kill you very painfully if you don't tell me what these are.
What is the purpose? What is your purpose here today?
It looks like he's trying to get away from those worms that are crawling in and out of him, but he can't move his head. He can talk and move his lips a little bit, but that's all the movement he has. He looks like he's like trapped in a corner.
Would there be any way that I could use my ability to maybe lessen the magic just a bit for him to talk, or?
Sure, why not? Yeah, I'll let that happen.
Okay, yeah, you see me my eyes get wide, like as if I'm looking at something that's not there, and I move my hand in a very slight pattern, maybe of a triangle, and each little dot you see, each little node of the triangle comes into view for a second and then disappears real quick, and then you'll see some of those worms let go of his face area and fly out and kind of dissipate into the surrounding area.
The head will start to like spasmodically just move back and forward. You hear bones cracking and some cracks form in his skin, and some of that ooze like starts running down his chest and his back.
Speak upon your purpose.
Who gave you that?
And he looks at the sword that Rayhan's using.
It was a gift from angels.
He's looking down at the shards, and you tell he's trying to free himself. Like he might even think that he might have, freed his neck. You're not sure. He's not succeeding.
I get the distinct impression that he does not have good will. That he does not have good things that he wants to do.
If he does not give us any understanding upon his actions today, we should kill him.
You took the masters away. I'm trying to bring them back. I'm trying to bring them back.
He's trying to bring back the founder. Is that what these things would do? Bring him back?
The three voices from the dark.
Restore the proof of this order, perhaps.
Why?
Make them talk again, I would.
Why did you laugh when you looked at Sergei's stomach? What's wrong with Sergei?
As I am, so you shall be.
I'll twist the blade inside him. I'll glance at the other two. Any questions you have to ask, or should I end it?
In this horrible creature. He
And
gave us no information.
He is not going to help us find a cure for Sergei. Perhaps we're going to have to end his life now and find a solution.
For this town, it's yours.
I will twist the sword in such a way that it presses against his spinal cord, and I'll apply my weight enough to snap the spinal cord and effectively, end his life.
We'll do that, and like I said, same thing with this one. Wherever that blade touches him, it sort of just slowly eats away at it, as if the light of the blade is a sort of acid that's devouring his flesh. But he'll crumple down. But it's strange. The worms keep his body in place. It seems like there's no more life there, but the form is still stationary.
When I look down into this opening of the ground, what do I see? Is it steam? Is there like a lake of water, or is it just endless blackness?
It seems that the crack has gotten wider since the last time you were, before you went up to talk to the mayor, and you can actually see it's a crack through the dirt and rocks, but there are openings that look like they lead down into what you were pretty sure was where that dragon turtle thing was. It looks very similar, but you see that where the water was is this strange opening into that, perhaps that place you were. There's clouds, and it's very surreal. It's almost like there's just a hole in the world that's below there.
Rayhan, I'm afraid that perhaps they were trying to restore order of the old, and to keep this town from being swallowed. We might not have any choice in the matter about the fate of this town. I kind of size up the hole to see if it's big enough to kick this demon boy into it.
Yeah, you think so. And
I do put my foot on his back, and I look at Rehan and Sergey, and to get that yay or nay.
Oh, I definitely nod to you.
Sergey just opens his eyes wide, and this giant grin goes across his face. Push, push.
So is that your reaction to Rehan?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I give him a kick into the hole.
okay.
As you can see, Ramelzi is just definitely feeling like that. There's no hope for this town. So he's kicking in this demon into the hole that he feels is going to eat the whole town eventually anyway. And every time that we try to do a deed of the immediate situation, the good deed seems to cause this effect even more. I mean, our doings.
Well, what you see
I
is
didn't really role play that too well, but
that's all right.
Yeah.
What you see as you kick the body down, it smashes and tumbles down the side of the rocks, and and dirt start to fall as well. And it lands in that sort of surface, like a bubble of this portal that you guys had opened. And the same thing that happened to you with all those thousands of spectral hands reaching out to lower you down is the same thing that happens to it. But wherever their hands touch, it just sort of evaporates. And after moving down maybe 100 feet, like just at the edge of your vision, it seems like there's no more of this thing.
I look up at Rehan, and I look at the blade. My eyes fixed on the blade, and I turn to Sergey, and then
I'll pass the blade to you.
look at his belly and say, sometimes the processes of healing in this town might not be of liking, but perhaps the evil that has been implanted into your belly, this sword can take out.
You do see that the light of the blade is still bright.
If I wave it next to Sergey, does it?
It gets brighter.
My conclusion, I'm afraid, my friend, is true that you have been impregnated by this demon.
Oh, do not use that word. I'll look him over. I'll say, this is just a scar.
Look at the blade, how it glows, my friend. Perhaps
What is meaning? I do not understand.
Perhaps the touch of this blade into his wound will eject this demon infection.
Perhaps. It is best, perhaps, if you close your eyes, Sergey.
I want to go into the darkness eyes wide open.
I would not do this unless you give me your permission, my friend. I will only enter the blade. Enter the blade as deep as the wound. It'll be painful, I'm sure.
Well, he pulls his clothes away and exposes the wound to him and says, "Do what you must."
And I am. You can see the expression on Ramelzi's face of how much bravery that our friend here is showing. Almost he's learned something from this.
When you guys lift up your shirt too, you'll see that the edges of the cut are starting to look blackened and infected. There's some white pus that is starting to leak out of the wound.
Oh.
I go, well, by all means, here I go ahead and insert the blade slowly.
You start to hear this burning, sizzling sound, and Sergey, you just feel like he's shoving like a hot metal knife into your stomach.
I call for Malo at the same time, real quick, and say, "Prepare yourself with perhaps a way of healing, my friend."
Mallow is still unconscious.
Oh, okay.
I'll run over to Mallow. I'll run to Mallow and start slapping his face. Get up, Mallow.
Go ahead, Tim.
As he's sticking the blade in, he's just bracing himself, trying to hold himself stable, but at the same time, he's just screaming at the top of his lungs.
Okay. So why don't you roll me a random d20, Zig, as you're trying to slap and wake up Mallow.
Oh, I got a 1.
Okay. You slap him, lift him up, drop him, move him around. He is dead to the world.
I'll check his pulse.
He's still alive.
Oh, yeah, good.
Seems like he's some sort of
Search his bag for a potion.
I have potions. I'll search my bag at this point.
He doesn't look like he's wounded at all. He's just out.
Okay. I got 3 black liquid and 2 blue-green. I think the blue-green is a good one.
Yeah, that's what we need.
I'm pretty sure. Let's just pour this down.
Pretty sure this is a good one. I'll run over to Sergey with the blue-green vial.
Okay.
You see my hand trembling on the blade, like
Steady
really-
yourself, Ramalzi.
really nervous about what I'm doing.
Steady yourself. And I'll give Sergey the concoction. And I'll say, if you feel tremendous pain, you should drink this.
He just immediately grabs it out of his hand and guzzles it down.
Okay. All right. We'll just skip the math stuff. So yeah, you feel this burning, sharp sensation, and in addition to that, you feel this pressure. You've never felt anything like this at all, but it's like a spot in your body is being pushed outward in all directions. There's this intense. It's almost like someone is pushing with hands from the inside out. Something is pushing outwards like that. You feel little bumps, and it's a very alien feeling, and you get the feeling that this must be maybe what a pregnant woman perhaps might feel in some strange way.
He just starts screaming, and you hear amongst all the garbles, "I have strange bloating."
All right, so Ramalzi, are you I'm guessing you're doing this gently, right? Just sliding it in through the cuts, like inch by inch.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it to where I can feel if the blade hits solid. If it don't sink in without pressure, I'm only sinking it as deep as there is no pressure, as far as how deep the wound already was, and I'm like, leave this being, foul demon. Leave now, and but you could see like this wide-eyed, like, what the hell am I doing kind of thing going on as well. Very, very nervous. I'm looking at his wound. I'm looking at his belly, trying to see the effects, whether or not the black ichor and the pus, whether it's receding.
It seems like the black ichor and pus has now faded and is evaporated wherever that blade has touched.
Okay.
So it looks like raw, angry flesh now, but not diseased flesh.
Okay.
It even looks burned a little bit, as if the sword is burning some of Sergei's flesh away.
Yeah.
And you're guessing it's burning away that which has been defiled.
Yeah. And I'm definitely paying. Also, every so often, I'm looking up at his face and seeing how he is reacting towards it. Whether if I can sense that he's breathing still and all that, to make sure if there's a time that I must pull it out, that I can sense those or see those expressions. Okay,
the sensation you get, imagine you have like a butter knife or something and you tap the edge of a plate. Like there's the soft resistance that you've felt up to this point is now harder. You get the feeling that you have tapped something with the tip.
Yeah.
And the light of the blade gets intensely white for a few moments, and then it just completely fades away. There's no more blade left. And that pressure that Sergei felt seems like it is now receding, as if it's slowly but surely going, and then it's non-existent anymore.
As soon as it completely goes away, he just lets out this sigh. He's like, "It is gone. Whatever was there, it is gone."
I look down at my hands and surprised that the blade is gone, and then look up at Sergei and see that he has shown an expression of relief, and say, "This has turned out great. I am glad that this worked. I was scared." And take a deep breath, kind of step
You were
back.
scared.
Guilt, my friend. I have been ridden with guilt upon all these deeds that I have done since I've come into this town. I did not want this to be another coat of guilt today. A friend saved is a good day.
Behind Rayhan, well, I guess I'll describe it differently. Rayhan, on your shoulders, you feel a hand. Someone is behind you.
I'm startled. I'll like do like a half jump, half like a startled turn, where like my feet leave the ground for a second.
Ramelzi and Sergei will see this apparently young boy, that angelic creature that Rayhan and Ramelzi had seen before. Shaved head, completely hairless, sort of draped wings. Maybe there, maybe not. It's hard to tell. Sometimes it seems like there are, and sometimes it seems like they're not. It goes to open its mouth, and then it closes it. And then it just sort of looks around into your faces, and you hear this, the voice there inside your skull. It is finished. The shards I will take with me.
I'll drop to my knees.
The blade shall be given to others, and he holds out his hand.
That was the last, I take it.
Yes. You have done well. The blade has no more purpose here. I shall take it elsewhere where purposes for it are dire.
I am glad to be rid of it.
So do you hand the hilt over?
Yes.
Okay.
I hand the hilt over. Looking at Sergei as well, and you said that he was able to see this angel as well?
Yes. Yeah. So you see this small boy creature that I don't know. It seems holy and just very, very not usual to what you're not used to seeing.
Sergei's just standing there with his hands just covered in his own blood, just looking with a look of complete, utter confusion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see the look on Ramelzi's face, surprised that Sergei was able to see this angel as well, feeling like he might be of a higher calling after all. Something within him has enabled him to see him, but I don't say any word upon it.
The hands will kind of reach down and grab Ramelzi by the shoulders and sort of, they look like they're trying to move him away from the shards. And then he seems like he's doing that with all of you in turn.
I accept that energy and move back.
The creature will stand, and as it looks, little pieces of shard starts to tumble towards him, to drag through the ground, to make little furrows. And it eventually all tumbles into this big, chaotic, sharp, angular pile. And then the mouth of the angel opens in this horribly loud, static noise. Comes out of its mouth, and all of the shards start to sort of turn into like black mist that gets smaller and smaller, and then after about a minute of this sort of noise, it's loud and piercing and is very painful. All the remnants of that black box are gone.
Look at Rayhan to see how he's faring and his expression upon the matter.
I'm kind of wide-eyed, kind of staring at this angel with like both my hands off to my sides, almost like in a prayer kind of pose. But as these things disappear, I'll kind of clasp my hands in front of me, and almost like beseeching this angel, I'll say, "This town, it is in need of much guidance. All these people have a fragment of a demon inside them. Is this the case? Is there something that we have missed? Is our mission truly done?"
This is a very vile and corrupt place. But you have done much good here. My task and this mission are complete. And he sort of looks around the town. There are many stories here, many lives. And though you are correct that they are from those of the outer dark, they were once as you are. Flashes of who they used to be are still there. Some are better than others. As to your task, I have none more for you, but there are voices here that do call for guidance and help. And who are we to judge their final destination? Your lives are your own. Your choices, consequences thereof. My part in your tale is done. And it sort of bows its head, and then it's just gone.
I'll touch my forehead to the ground for a moment, and lift up and kind of like stand, glancing back at the group.
Sergei stands there still looking completely startled. What the hell? What is going on here?
We had a
I walk into this town in nothing but confusion.
Yes, the same could be said for us. Ever since we walked in, we had an encounter once with this angel that you have seen today, this angel demon, not to say exactly what, possibly a mixture of both, but had a task for us to rid an evil seed that has been spread upon perhaps the land further than this town, but this town was what it was concerned with, and these children were used as hosts for demons, and this unspoken of demon was spreading the seed upon the land here, creating these children that we must bring an end to with this blade. So this blade was fastened and given to us by this angel to rid this town of the demons, the demon children. And perhaps today that task is now complete, and we can focus more on perhaps the inner workings of this town. Those who are in need of other evils. But the experience was heavy, and I am glad to be rid of the blade. I'm glad to be rid of the problem.
At the last syllable spoke by Ramelzi, a very subtle earthquake happens. It's very subtle at first. It's strange. It doesn't even feel like that's what it is until you start seeing maybe some of the windows clatter and shake in some of the buildings. And there is this light that comes from the crack in the town, and then it's no longer there. The earthquake subsides.
I'll look down into the crack.
When you look down, you see nothing but water.
I'll glance back at Ramelzi. There was a portal down there before. Correct?
Yes.
Look.
I look down and see that it no longer exists, and say, perhaps the line, the bloodline that we have seek to destroy has now been extinguished.
Perhaps the magic has died out. Regardless, one less problem.
What the freaking hell is going on here?
A lot of things. A lot of things, Sergei.
Let's just burn this place down and be rid of it.
I'd like to get some coin before we do any of that.
Well, you can there is much coin to be gathered while people put out fire.
I'll look you in the eye and kind of give you a grin. Well, we could always shake down the mayor, and I'll gesture towards the mayor's office. But there is this loose end.
Mayor shaking is good thing.
There is this loose end that I've been meaning to attend to.
What end is loose?
Remember when I spoke of that man running from us?
Yes.
I found a bloody handprint over here, and I'll kind of gesture and walk towards it. Behind that building, I think it was, right?
Yeah, I was on the side of the jailhouse.
So I'll point it out, and I'll say, I found this while I was sneaking around. It was inside the mayor's office as well, but near the door. I believe that, though I didn't see any bodies, it leaves a noticeable trail. And I'll look around to see if I can find like another one of those handprints anywhere else. If this guy touched another building.
As you look around, you don't. It almost looked like maybe the man was leaning against the building when that handprint was there. Maybe even looking out into town center. But there doesn't seem to be any more obvious signs.
Okay. So noticing that there is no obvious signs, I'll kind of give a little bit of a shrug.
As Rehan was looking around, and maybe kind of scanned the area as well, and in my memory, I look upon the ground and see that would it be a stuffed animal of sort that looked like a gypsy toy, if I'm not mistaken, that I seen earlier.
Yeah, there's a small, very garishly painted pony or horse with broken legs, and it has like wear and tear in the paint where it looks like maybe a child's hand just played with the toy over and over again. It looks like a very well-loved toy.
Okay. I do walk over on it and just thought of what our next move is upon it, and pick it up and give it a look just to see if I see anything interesting on it. Not really sure what I'm looking for, but perhaps maybe an icon of something that allows me to see what type of family or child that might have been playing with this at one time.
You get the feeling there is something there, something present, and in your mind you hear a gypsy phrase that I don't think your character knows gypsy, but for some reason you can understand the message, and you hear the words, "It is finished."
I look around, look up at the sky, and I utter the words I hear out loud, not to anybody. I go, it is finished. And put the toy back down, perhaps lean it next to a building, just to get it out of the mud and the trample area. I just set it down, walk back over to Rehan and Sergei and kind of suggest that maybe we should leave town. Maybe we should press on, my friends. Unless, Rehan, I know that your curiosity runs deep. An endless quest, no matter where we lay our feet. What is it you have in mind today?
Before we go, I'll say, perhaps we should divulge an idea of where it is that we are going. There might be a place in this town that has maps. I know how difficult it was to get here, remember? We were wandering for many days, if not weeks, trying to find this place. I don't want to die of starvation when we leave. I would prefer if we had a map.
Yes, that sounds wise, my friend.
As well as some coin. We've done
perhaps more.
here.
Perhaps those jewels that you found near the lake, they could bring us quite amount of wealth once cashed in. lighter load?
I'll nod slowly. I'll nod slowly, and I will kind of try to remember. There was a creature in the water nearby, was there not? Or
Yeah,
something.
a creature of some sort. I couldn't tell you exactly what.
Perhaps that beach best be left alone then. Lest we stir the wrath of this thing.
So what do we have on our plate? We have the approaching white creatures. We have the mysterious blood smears that seem to lead nowhere. We have probably some small domestic issues we could investigate or find this map. I say let's take a vote, perhaps over some apple cider that we've seen upon entering this this town.
I'll give you a nod, and I'll say, well, if we're going to have a drink, and if it's going to be our last drink here, then let's have it be apple cider then.
That's all I can think of, since I think we leveled the inn.
Did we?
I think so.
It's not level.
What is this with apple? What is with apple cider?
It's a good drink.
What is this talking of apple cider?
The only drink I actually trusted in this town, my friend. This was the only drink. Didn't trust much of what they were serving in the inn. But perhaps it's a good time for a drink of some sort to figure out our next move.
I still say we burn this place. But at least let us collect contribution for our invaluable services to this town. Let us speak to this mayor and shake him down.
Let's do that first then.
That'd be easy to do, I'm sure.
I'll head towards the mayor's office.
Alright, as you guys head inside, you'll see that the constable also is fast asleep. Lying inside the door there.
I'll give him a nudge with my foot.
Nothing happens.
Wake up, you lazy.
He's breathing, but there's no movement. Sorry.
So Mallow is he's still unconscious as well. We just kind of left him laying there, eh?
Yeah, Rayhan tried to slap him and move him around, but he's fast asleep.
Everybody seems to be in a deep sleep.
How close is the nearest source of water?
There is some running pipes and tap water that are in some of the more expensive buildings.
Does he still have...
Splash some water on some of these faces and see if that wakes him.
You splash some water on Mallow, and he does wake up.
Okay, good.
What a terrible dream that was.
Hey, don't worry about it. Here's what I want you to do,
There's no
Mallow.
suffering there at all.
Oh, that sounds awful. Can you do something for me?
What would you have me do? And he starts to sit up and collect his things.
Find a bucket, fill it with water, and bring it into the mayor's office.
All right, I'll go do that.
Nice. So let's walk past the constable and see this mayor.
All right, so as you head up the stairs, you'll see. Well, the assistant constable was asleep at the bottom, but you'll see Constable Stark. He's the one who was on vacation and came back. He looks like he fell asleep and tumbled down some stairs. His body is sort of draped on over top of probably like 6 or 7 stairs.
Oh.
I go ahead and step past him and immediately go look to see if the mayor's in the same situation. Walk up the stairs and...
Yeah, as you peer into the mayor's office, you'll see the steward. That's the one that you guys put to sleep with as poison or something. He's draped over his desk. He's fast asleep, and you'll see that the the mayor has his pants off, and he's lying on the floor in his office.
I'll take a deep breath.
What is this? Why he take his pants off?
I cannot answer that myself.
I think the pants make him uncomfortable.
You wish to return to nature. So everyone is asleep?
So we can't.
Yeah, it
we
looks
can't
like they're
pickpocket
asleep
them.
or unconscious. Yeah, something like that.
I just go over to his desk and open the drawers.
And I say I have a feeling that perhaps this whole town has been put to sleep by the event that just occurred, somehow either by this angel or the destroying of these boxes.
When you look through his drawers, you see lots of papers for a setup for a fashion show. There's letters being set out for a very well-known model named Minerva to come and show off the various fashions of Pembroktonshire merchants and seamstresses, things like that. People were supposed to come to the town to witness this event, and it looks like it's scheduled for tomorrow. Looks like it was going to be held in town center.
Should we stay for a fashion show? I show this to everyone. Well, do you know this person? Do you know what this is regarding?
It is not a good idea to stay for this fashion show. The models are something else entirely.
Let us take what we can and find map and leave. I do not like this place.
I'll give you a nod and I'll say, is there anything in that drawer?
Was there anything else in there?
You'll see some, maybe like a dagger, a letter opener, something like that. You'll see some glowing, pulsing rocks that have a green tint to them, as Sergei's looking through. They have a strange nature to them, it seems. You see various vials of all kinds of different colors. Seems like some of them he had sipped halfway.
So look at these strange glowing green pulsing thing. Do you know what these are? I have a bad feeling with this town that everything is not good here.
Yeah, perhaps we should leave those as well. We had an experience with those at one time.
Might be some sort of demon egg.
You'll see that there's like this piece of paper he was jotting down, and he wrote, Rupert's Rocks, cures everything fast. No side effects. Asterisks.
I take the letter opener.
As that's going on, I look around to see perhaps if there is a safe. If anything looks like it's locked up, a chest of some sort.
Why don't you guys... There's a searching, I think, skill. Why don't you guys do some searching if you want to toss the room and start moving things around?
Yeah, I go ahead and I look for anything that looks like maybe a hidden.
Oh, I failed it.
I rolled a 1.
I'm looking behind. Right now, I guess I'm looking behind any pictures that might be hanging on the wall.
Okay. So you rolled a 1 for
13. Yeah. Well, hold on. What am I? Yeah.
D6.
It's a D6. That's a 1 as well. Under 2.
Okay. As Sergei is looking through things, he does find a false bottom on one of the drawers, and there's various things of envelopes there. He starts rifling through them. He sees lots of things discussing human trials of his experimental formulas, test subjects, and he has unwilling and then willing, and most of the check marks are in the unwilling box.
I just take them all out and start looking through them.
You'll see various names and townsfolk listed. Did
I
not
think
do
I
very
will
well. Was sick for 3 months.
I think I will give these to various townspeople. Let them know what their mayor is doing.
Jeremiah, you said you're looking behind the paintings and stuff, right?
Yeah. If there's anything of the sort.
There does seem like there is a safe behind one. Oh, it looks like it's very dusty. Maybe even the current mayor didn't even know it existed.
Oh, wow.
My
my eyes get kind of wide, and I say, Rehan, I might have found something for you to tinker with, my friend.
Oh, what is it?
Come look at this.
Oh,
It looks as if it's been untouched for a while too, and I blow the dust.
Yeah, you'll see. What looks like there's a safe that's sunk back into the water. That was behind this picture of this very emaciated-looking woman that was maybe in some sort of exotic pose.
I'll grin and get down on one knee, look through my gear for my tinkering tools, find a lockpick, and what kind of safe is this? Is this like a locked safe, or is this like a rotary kind of thing?
We'll say it's just a lock safe. It looks pretty basic.
Okay. I will attempt to break it open. But first, I'll glance back at Sergey and Ramalzi and give them each like a kind of grin.
Do your magic, my friend.
I rolled a 3 and my tinkering is 4. So that's a success, I believe.
Yes, that's correct. Sorry, my son's awake now, so it's a little bit tricky. Okay, so you're twisting things and getting your little lockpicks in there, and there's a click sound, and you hear this hiss coming from the sides all the way around the safe, and then it only lasts a second.
I can should have done it earlier, but I'll check for traps. Okay, I got a 1 on that, so I succeed on the trap check.
That was great. There does seem like there's these strange little holes that are maybe around in places that maybe some of this gas came out of. But so far you haven't suffered any ill effects or anything.
Is Mallow up with the bucket of water?
Yeah. He starts coming up the stairs. You hear the sloshing of water, and he walks in the main entrance.
I'll bring him over here. I'll say, bring the water here. And
yes, here's the bucket that you asked for. I'm not really sure why you need it though.
I'll dip my I'll take my sash off, revealing my like garrote that's been kind of tuckered in there, and I'll wet the sash and I'll wrap it around my mouth and my nose, just to be extra sure. And I'll glance at Ramalzi to take a step back. I'll say, take a step back. And then I'll swing this safe open.
Okay, when you swing it open, you hear more gas escape. And then you look inside, and there, it looks like a very Spartan, well-made metal casing that's around the edges of it. There looks like at one point there was a lot of things in here, but now there's just this small little pile of books in the back. One of the books looks like there's something maybe inside of it, because the edges are kind of propped up a little bit, but that's all that's there currently.
I'll pull the books out, and I'll kind of like flip them all open with just like the tips of my fingers, just to see if they're like a book compartment or if they're actual books. Inside
one of the books, you'll see what looks like it's been cut out, and it looks like there's some sort of sacrificial dagger inside. The book itself seems like it's something mundane. At least that book is. Looks like it's gardening tips. but all the pages have been cut out, and it looks like it was hastily put away. Like, it looks like if he would have taken the time out, that the dagger would have fit in perfectly, but it was like at an angle or, up a little bit. So there's that book. And then the other 3 books don't have any titles on them. They just have dark brown covers.
Okay, flip them all open. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, when when Rayhan flips them all over, the light in the room starts to dim.
I'll be wide-eyed. Do the open books have writing on it?
Yeah, right inside the inside, you see the name Trisha Finn. That's written in blood. And that's the only thing on the inside of all the books. Like
Does that name sound familiar?
You know that that name does sort of spark a memory that she's the midwife.
Okay. And she hasn't been killed yet, has she?
You have never met Trisha Finn, but you know she was the midwife. That's really all you know of her. When you investigated her place, she wasn't there.
I'll close the book, see if that helps with the lighting.
Yeah, it seems like the light goes back normal.
And I'll glance back into the safe just to see if it's like if there's like a false wall or anything in the safe, just to see if it's as deep in as it is wide and long and all that.
Okay, yeah, as you look further, it looks like it's pretty well made. It doesn't seem like there's anything hidden there.
Okay. I'll keep the safe door open, but I'll say that looks like it's it. We have a dagger, and we have some books. This one, and I'll point to the one with the name in it. I don't think we should open this one. Again.
Trisha Finn's name was in those 3 books that you opened.
All 3? Okay.
Yeah, all 3.
We could take these books as a curiosity, but I don't think they will bring us anything good.
Perhaps just on to the archive, perhaps, to find a map.
Yes, let's.
It'll be done.
I'll pull the mayor's pants from the rack that he usually hangs them on and just throw it at him.
Okay, so
before we leave.
So he has pants like laying on his ass while he's laying face down on the ground.
Yeah. And let's go to the map place. I'm trying to remember what building might have maps in it.
All right, it wasn't. They told you about the scribe.
That's it. To the scribe.
As we're going down the stairs, and I go past the constable, I put all those letters and all those things that I pulled out of the false bottom, I just put them in his hands.
Yeah, there's like names and, it seems like they're pretty, just people around town. But, you shoved it right in his hands and, if he wakes up, he's going to have them.
Yeah. I just laugh.
Question. This place has a church in it, doesn't it?
Yes, it has a temple where you put that little, I can't even think of his name right. Carl's character.
Yep.
Temper. You put Temper's child and the witch's child on the altar there.
There's another question. Does this temple have a bell or no?
It does seem like it has a bell tower, yeah.
Okay. I'll look at the group. Can we see the temple from here? Like as we stand out?
Yeah, it's right in the town center there. It's probably the second tallest building in town.
I'll gesture to the bell tower.
What do you have in mind, Rayhan?
Well, if we want to have these people asleep, we can leave them be. But if we want to wake them up, that would probably be the best way to do it.
Yeah, perhaps that's worth a shot.
You guys want to go find the scribe and the maps, and I'll go ring the bell.
We might be safer with everybody asleep, but
yes, that's what I'm thinking. Let's let them rest for a while. Perhaps we may stumble upon something valuable as we leave.
Very well then. To the scribes.
All right. Scribe, I believe, was in roughly the same location. I think it's one of the buildings off the town center. But you've been there before. That was the crazy guy who was screaming about the book. If you remember that.
So I'm glad we didn't ring the bell.
So you head back to that location once again, and of course Sergei's never been there, but he follows along, I'm sure. You'll go in there and you see lots of piles of books in the corners. It smells like urine and feces in here. There's lots of torn up pages, and pages have been nailed to the walls in places. To see a section of the room without a page nailed to it is kind of a strange thing. It's like they're almost covered entirely. That's been a new development since you guys were here last.
A quick question about the town itself. Is there any place that serves like a checkpoint, like when goods come in, like a small depot area?
You think that there are probably some businesses within town that do shipping and exporting, but you've never interacted with any of them, so you're not sure offhand.
I do suggest to the party, I say, perhaps if we fall short on finding a map here, one of the depots or a place that does shipping and receiving would have a map, at least, of the surrounding land.
Good idea.
Maybe more direct find, perhaps posted right on the wall as we enter one of the places.
As you're looking around the books and all these pages nailed to the wall, you see that this man looked like he was in the middle of urination when he fell asleep. He was pissing on a pile of books that were in the corner.
I still think burning this town down is a good thing.
Perhaps we will. Can I make a search check to find a section that might have maps in it?
Yeah, sure, you can do that. There is definitely no organization here. This guy, sort of looks like he subscribes to the messy room.
Yeah, the most time I'm willing to spend searching for the maps would be 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm avoiding all the feces and urine, the aided spots, definitely. So my search would be minimum with Rayhan.
Okay, yeah. A lot of the books look like they were sopping wet at one point or are sopping wet now.
Oh.
So, is there like a mechanic where if you spend more time on doing something, your chances of finding it are better?
Well, I don't think there's a mechanic, but yeah, if you just tell me you're going to search for it, that's fine. You will find eventually some maps of mainly just the town itself. You see a book on discussing the strange nature of the roads around the town, and it seems, if you flip through that a little bit, it seems like there's some sort of arcane nature to them. That the town founder cast a powerful ritual in the center of town, thereby causing that effect. That's basically the rumor that has been going around town, it seems. At least that's what the book says.
Hey, is the center of town where that tree is? Or the buyer or whatever?
Yeah, the buyer, yeah.
I'll point that out to Sergei and I'll say, I know just what we can burn down.
Yes, burning is good.
Aside from that, no real maps, eh?
Yeah, you don't really see maps. It says that, even in that book you're talking about there, looking at, it says that maps were attempted, but that they proved to be, they were worthless. Yeah, even the most meticulous of minds and scribes would sometimes go mad trying to write them, trying to draw them.
So perhaps there has been some type of magic put upon the scribes here to not be able to map further than this town, to keep the town to itself.
Or perhaps there's something in the briar that's preventing mapping. Needless to say, let us burn it down.
Yeah, let's go. I am having some flame for once. Go ahead.
I'm bringing some books with me to add to the fuel.
I'm guessing you're going to grab the not-soaked ones then.
Yeah.
I get my tinderbox out as I'm walking. My flint and steel.
As you guys are walking, you'll see other townsfolk that are asleep. Look like they were in the process of fleeing or just looking out their windows. You'll see an old man asleep in a chair.
Sergey, no one knows how to start a fire better than you.
So he just goes up to one of the people that are asleep. And he rips off a piece of cloth off of one of their shirts. He pulls out his bottle of rot gut and just soaks it in it. Then he puts it as they gather the books and put them by the tree, and he puts it on top of there, and he starts making sparks, trying to set it on fire.
Doesn't take too long. The flame catches, and the fire will slowly start to smolder. And then it's basically made of 4 poles and a platform. Basically roughly hewn, trunks of trees. But if you do that on each one and take your time, eventually it will be engulfed in flames, and the light and heat of it will be felt on your faces.
What a beautiful fire. Now let's leave.
I'll take a few steps back just to take a look at the grandness of the fire and nod towards the two of them. Choose a direction.
The way it sounds like these roads are, I don't think it matters too much. Let's just go out the nearest way out of town. You know this town better than I do.
I'll look away from where the red line of tree is. So I don't want to go in the direction of the demon trees. And I don't want to go in the direction that we came from either. So, unless north would be the best direction to go.
I think the mountains and the hills are north.
Oh, okay.
And they sort of curve around a little bit, so...
I think we came from the west, right?
Oh, let's see. Let's look at the map real quick. Alright, I believe you guys came from the left side of the map, which would be the west, so east or south would be a different direction.
I'll ask that question to the group. East or south?
Southeast.
I'll grin. Get my bearings. Hey, are there any horses in this place that aren't asleep?
Perhaps maybe we'd stop off at the inn on the way and refill on some foods. Perhaps, in case we take an extra long journey.
Any animals that you find are also asleep.
Oh. Horses and everything too?
Horses, sheep, cows, except for 3 of them.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
Demon cows.
I'll splash water on the horses. Just to see if they can get up. Because having a horse would be awesome.
The water doesn't really seem to be all that effective.
Are they alive? Are they breathing?
It seems like for some reason the mallow splash on, or the water splash on Mallow's face worked, but everything else that came from town doesn't seem to be affected by it.
Let's get food and leave. I do not like this. Who knows, they might start sprouting black tentacles from their ears.
Yeah, I say we just take what we need from the inn. And make way.
Agreed.
Follow the stars for a change.
So let's fill up on supplies. Like, I'm thinking, aside from food, we need like bandages and that kind of stuff. Just in case we get into any kind of scuffles.
Well, the nice thing is, it seems like you are the only 4 people awake. You, Mallow, Rehan, Ramalsi.
So let's go shopping, town shop.
Shopping spree?
Yep. So I say let's load up. I agree on what we need. I would like to restock on some slings or some bullets and slings, some rocks, if there's a place like that in town. Because I lost all my gear during that that situation in the past.
And you do know that some of your friends have already left town, but they left on strange circumstances. Like, you're not really sure what happened to some of them. They just, like Ash the elf was, he just wasn't there one morning. Perhaps he has already left the town.
Yeah, he was always talking like he wanted to get out as soon as possible as well. That would be my logic anyway. Ram's logic. He left.
You guys also might think that some of your adventuring friends might eventually come here. That might pop into your head.
I feel sorry for them.
I'll have stories to tell later.
Just to make things easy, like I'm imagining I'm gonna go to places that make like salted food or like salted meats, something that will hold on travel. And I'm going to get some bandages. Probably like like a whetstone or something to keep my blade sharp.
Yeah,
and any place that I go into, I'd also search it for like really quick search if it's like a store where they would keep the money.
Okay. Hold on a second, guys. Something stuck in my throat. All right, so yeah, it really there's no one stopping you, so you can really just, it's kind of like end of the world sort of situation here. Everyone's laying on the ground. It seems like you're the master of the town. You walk in, look around, find hidden compartments, grab some gold, some silver, copper pieces in a lot of these places. But yeah, you can do that without any problem.
Okay.
Bandages, whetstones. There's an armor. You can grab some bows and upgrade your armor or whatever. It's all there for the taking. It's just everyone is sleeping.
What sort of armor do I find?
There's a suit of plate, a chain. There's shields, and they're all marked with the engraver's symbol. The smith.
I'll take some chain. I'll take some chain armor.
Yep. You clink and clank and take off your old stuff.
Yeah, I was just wearing leather before, so I'll just. And
Yeah,
I'll also take one of the bows, an arrow.
Did you decide to go into the temple at all, or did you avoid that place?
I'd go in there because of curiosity and the chance that people might give donations, therefore probably money.
Okay, so let's say that you guys did all your shopping and stuff, and really you can have pretty much anything you want. It's a pretty lucrative town that has a lot of different businesses. So basically, whatever you guys want to have, you can.
I'll look at the item list like after we stop playing, just so that I don't want to like shout out items at you.
Yeah. Like I said, it's you guys have a blank check here to basically upgrade whatever you want, really.
Awesome.
I mean, these are items that were made in this town, so that might come into play later or something. But yeah, you have your free reign with them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take what upgrading I'm just gonna take stuff that I would run out of, like I'd grab some darts, some bullets. I'm gonna kind of stay humble with it. Food. I already had a cloak and staff, so that's good. So yeah, food, bandages, darts, sling bullets, and perhaps some of those apples that we found at the beginning.
Not a problem.
That's about it for me. I was trying to think of a way that we could ring that bell and get out of town.
Well, if the temple's like the last place you want to go, then we can just do that now real quick.
Okay.
So you guys are entering the front doors, and there's some people that are slumbering and just leaning over all the pews and so forth. going to the left and to the right up the center aisle. And you'll see that some of the decorations have changed. That symbol of the awl that you guys had saw before is no longer there. The altar has been cleaned off of all of its emblems. It's very Spartan and clean now. And in the center of it is that child that was Temper's. And it's awake. But you'll see lots of flowers and wreaths and lots of offerings that are laying around it, around the temple, or just scattered all over the place.
Okay.
And the child just looks at you guys as you walk in. But it doesn't seem to have any more intelligence, or it doesn't seem evil or anything. It just looks like there's an infant on an altar with lots of people sleeping around it.
I'll take a deep breath, deep sigh, and I'll say, we can't leave this child in this horrible place.
Perhaps that it's not just a normal child. Perhaps it is a sign of this town being turned around. Perhaps good energy, a spiritual child of some sort. After all, it was birthed by a witch and a good man. It's the blood of a good man and a witch upon the hills. It has kept itself alive to this point. I don't see that it is a natural child anymore.
You won me over. I'll leave the kid. I'll smile at him as I walk past him, looking for the stairs to go up to ring that bell. Otherwise, this kid's gonna starve to death.
Yeah, you'll see that it grabs some of the offerings every once in a while, like raisins or grapes.
It's just Ram's confused mythology, of course. After running from his origins and then coming into this town, everything is kind of.
So does Sergey say anything when you guys see this scene? I don't know.
He's just scowling at it. He doesn't like anything about this town. He doesn't like the fact that there's a child awake while everyone else is asleep. He's eyeing it very suspiciously.
All right, scaling to the bell tower.
Yes, it's not that hard to get up to. You get up to the bell tower, and
real quick, I do have one trick up my sleeve to help us out here.
Sure.
I could Ram is okay. Yeah, I could create a being to ring this with my magic as we leave town. Therefore, we could wake these people up while we're on the outskirts of town. If that would be more to our liking, but if you'd rather ring it now and just walk through town while everybody's waking up, that is up to you as well.
Well, you can ring this when we're out of town?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do that then.
Or at least be on our way.
I'll nod. That's a better idea,
okay.
For sure.
Well, what I'm going to do is, once again, as hopefully everybody's leaving the building or walking down the stairs from the bell tower or climbing down the ladder, I'll be casting Phantasmal Self of, let's say, I'm trying to remember somebody I dropped that I could emulate here.
Maybe that dwarf that was from the mountains?
Yeah. Is there a time limit on that? Would that be forever?
I don't know.
I'm just not thinking that.
We're pretty much at the end of today, so that's
yeah,
fine.
I was just trying to have fun, man. So you'll see me once again chant some words that sound kind of appalling to the ear, and then you'll see a geometrical form in front of me by my hands moving a light pattern, and then you'll see this dwarf appear, and I'll tell it to ring this bell within the minutes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and to disperse itself after that task has been done, and begin leaving the bell tower or the temple myself.
Okay, so is there anything else anyone else wants to do before leaving the town? It sounds like that's kind of where you guys are all headed.
Yeah. That's...
All right, so as you leave the town of Pembrooktonshire, you hear the dull sound of bong, bong, bell ringing in the distance. It's sort of echoing into the hillsides. and you head on your way. And as one final note for today's session, a shadow lurks behind you.
Dun dun dun.
So for Tim here, this is usually what we do at the end of the session real quick. We usually just sort of just talk a little bit about the game or whatever. This is the first time you ever played with us, so what'd you think?
Yeah, it was pretty groovy.
Good to have you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I loved the voice too, man. It made me want to step up what I was doing.
Oh yeah, the Russian accent was amazing. I was crap, I can't do that.
That's pretty spot on.
Especially at the beginning, it felt real storybook-like.
Well, thank you.
But I was actually thinking that since you guys are leaving the town, maybe I'll change the name of the campaign to something else. Like it was Welcome to Pembrooktonshire, but if you're not hanging out in Pembrooktonshire anymore, I'll change something else.
You could call it Survivors of Pembrooktonshire.
Yeah.
Vagabonds on the road or something. I don't know. Let's see. But, I don't know. What do you think, Zig, for today?
I liked that there was various degrees of closure in today's episode. So the return of the angel, getting rid of those farmers, closing the gate. The only thing that we didn't really have closure on would be the forest, but I was really kind of like scratching my head on how to deal with it. So let those people deal with the forest themselves.
They can do something for themselves.
Yeah, let them do something for themselves, right? But okay. Yeah, maybe. As far as I'll get you all together. Maybe how does October 5th sound? I think that's actually next week.
October 5th sounds good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, maybe I'll try maybe the 5th and the 19th in October. See how that works.
Word, man, word.
But, I guess. Thanks for playing. Thanks for playing, Tim. It was nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too.
And, I'll see you guys on the 5th then.
All right,
Yes, sir.
All right, guys.
Bye.
I'll talk to you later.
All right.